A judge has sparked outrage after allowing a man who R-ed a 13-year-old girl to walk free because he is deemed too young to be jailed. By the way, the scumbag in question, Sean Hogg, is 21 years of age. The judge said he's too young to be jailed. Well, that's the judge's first mistake right there. Sean Hogg was found guilty of R-ing a vulnerable teenager at Dalkeith Country Park in Midlothian, Scotland. He had attacked the girl on various occasions between March and June 2018. He assaulted the 13-year-old girl by threatening her and pulling down her clothing. He then seized her by the wrists, and I'm not going to finish the sentence there, but he's been found guilty of R-ing the 13-year-old girl in question. The judge said that the age of the R-er, the R-ist, who was 17 at the time of the attack, had to be taken into account when passing sentence. And with that, the judge sentenced Sean Hogg from Hamilton, Lanarkshire, to only 270 hours of unpaid work. Not a single day, not a single hour in jail. No, not for this R-ist, this R-er. No, he R-ed a 13-year-old girl, but no jail time for this scumbag. Only 270 hours of unpaid work, less than 2 months worth of full-time work without pay. That's all this guy has to suffer. Well, not quite all. He's also put under supervision and placed on the sex offenders register for 3 years, but no fine, no jail time, no nothing, pretty much. 270 hours of unpaid work. Pathetic. The judge stated that prison would not contribute to the thug's rehabilitation. Well, why not? Is the judge stating that prison doesn't help anyone's rehabilitation? If so, should the judge be a judge? If so, should the judge be calling for the abolition of prisons? What's going on? The judge took into account the fact that the R-ist was a first-time offender. So what? How does that help the 13-year-old girl? I'm going to be facetious to try to highlight the ridiculousness of this. Oh, sorry, love. You're the first person that he's R-ed, so we're going to give him a pass for that. You know, if he did it again, we'll probably tell him off then. But this time, it was his first time. We're going to let him go. I'm being facetious, not to try to be funny, but to try to highlight the disgusting and ridiculous aspects of the judge's decision. Oh, he's a first-time offender, so thereby no jail time for him. No. A first-time offender committing a relatively trivial crime? Sure, give a first-time offender a bit of a pass for a relatively trivial crime. I don't think the R crime would constitute a relatively trivial crime. Quite to the contrary. Why is the judge getting this so wrong? The judge said that if the offence was committed by an adult over the age of 25, that it would attract a sentence of 4 or 5 years. And I have to say, that's disgusting. Only 4 or 5 years in jail for R-ing a 13-year-old girl. Scotland, you need to address your sentencing laws. The article that I went through, which was a Daily Mail article, there's a link on the flyer. Well, you're not able to copy and paste it, unfortunately, but it is there. It does go into quite a bit of detail in regards to the politics behind the new sentencing laws that have come into play across Scotland, and it involves quite a lot of leniency. So I've skipped going over those aspects in detail. But yeah, seemingly there's been some new laws that have come into play as of recently, and they are disgustingly lenient, at least in some circumstances. According to the new laws that are in place, or the new court guidance, criminals under the age of 25 are treated more leniently because of their alleged brain immaturity. Look, I like science. I don't necessarily trust science implicitly. Science changes constantly and is subject to interpretation. So, you know, I don't necessarily agree with the conclusions that everyone makes just because they point to one scientific study or another. However, I do respect science. And with that, I would say that I'm aware of and understand the scientific understanding, scientific knowledge, that brains aren't fully mature until a certain age. I thought the age was, 25, 26, something along those lines. So I get that. As far as I understand, as far as I'm aware, there's a scientific basis for that new court guidance. Those under the age of 25 do not have their brain fully mature. Okay, probably true, probably accurate. Does that justify leniency? Well, I'm struggling to say yes. I think those under the age of 18 probably deserve leniency to a degree. Not complete leniency, not a complete fucking pass. What, so a 24-year-old, they too would also get a pass? Is that what these new court guidances would call for? The chief executive of Our Crisis Scotland said, "This is an extremely serious case and we are shocked that this perpetrator has not received a custodial sentence. Our thoughts are with the survivor of this crime. For survivors of any sexual violence, it can be very difficult to see reports of convicted perpetrators walking free from court." And yeah, I agree with those sentiments from the chief executive of Our Crisis Scotland. It is a very serious case. A 13-year-old girl has been AR'd. That's pretty effing serious. I too am shocked that the perpetrator has not received a custodial sentence. Oh, he's only 20. He's 21. He's only 21. Can't put him in jail. All right, so he AR'd a 13-year-old girl. Well, his brain's not mature. Got to give him a pass. He can do some unpaid work for a month or two. Again, I'm not being facetious to try to be funny. I'm just trying to point out the ridiculousness of the situation as I see it. And I think you probably see it the same way. My thoughts are also with the survivor of the crime and the girl's family. Everyone's going to be extremely angry at this decision. Everybody. So my understanding is that we have laws, we have punishment for a variety of different reasons. Rehabilitation is not the singular reason for putting someone in jail. Another reason for putting someone in jail is to reassure society, to reassure the community that such crimes, such behavior is not to be tolerated, and if certain scumbags transgress those laws, they will be punished. We as humans require guilty parties of heinous crimes to be punished. It's within us. We have this innate, whatever it is, I mean, I'm going to say desire, it's not the right word. It's essentially a requirement. We absolutely must have justice, or at least an attempt at justice, at least a pretense of justice. We must have it. If we don't have that, we will be unsatisfied. And with that unsatisfaction, we may take action ourselves. That's one of the reasons why we have sentencing. And this 21-year-old Sean Hogg from Hamilton, Lanarkshire, Scotland, has not been sentenced adequately. The judge is to blame. The politicians that brought in the new court guidance are to blame. This is not good enough and absolutely requires an investigation. There's a better word than investigation. It requires a complete overhaul, a complete review, a formal review of these new court guidances. It is not on to allow Rists to R, be that an adult or a child, and for them to get off scot-free. Not on. Even those over the age of 25, if they would be only sentenced to 4 or 5 years, that's not good enough. So I'm going to wrap things up at this point. I guess I've made my point clear. Those are my thoughts on the subject. I'm not the only one to think that way. I'm sure you do too, or a lot of you will, because it's the common sense reaction, isn't it? But perhaps some of you are more, forgiving to perpetrators than I am, and you are welcome to make a comment. Very welcome, in fact. More than happy. I encourage any conflicting opinion, differing opinion to my own. I welcome it very much. I also welcome likes, comments, and subscribes, and very much those that wish to join my membership. I've been making videos for close to 2 years. I don't have a single member as yet. Not a single donation, so if you would like to be the first, please take the opportunity. I'm going to carry on making multiple videos most days. I won't say every day, but most days. And I think I'm getting better, and I think I'm going to be bringing more to the channel as well. So maybe that will be live streams, maybe it won't be live streams, but I think I'll be experimenting. I'll be doing this or that and experimenting with the channel. I don't know if live streams are the answer. Maybe they are, but I want to do other things that I'm currently doing. I want to be able to have a more conversational based forum, but I don't want to do it all on my own, to be honest, and I definitely don't want to do it all on my own if I don't have any members, if I don't have many viewers, etc, etc. So give me some support, and I'll put the effort in to continue to improve this channel. I think I've done a pretty good job, to be honest, and there's more to come. So anyway, I'll wrap things up. Don't watch too many of my videos. Absolutely subscribe, absolutely join the memberships, but don't watch too many of my videos, because I don't want the subject matter as to bring you down too much. So if this one has, and it will, some of you will be victims, some of you will have family members that have been victims and are survivors of similar acts, and this will have been extremely upsetting for you. And I think that's a good thing, in my opinion. You know, I think it's good to be hurt, to be upset. It's good. You know, it gives us an opportunity to, I don't know, exorcise some emotions or such, something along those lines. I don't view it as all bad personally, but having said that, we need to enjoy our lives, and with that we can't focus on these very dark, hurtful subjects too much. So it's good that we've spent some time covering this topic and talking about it, thinking about it, gathering our thoughts perhaps, getting a little bit emotional perhaps. But we've got to move on, so I'm going to wrap things up, and I wish you also go away and do something else a little bit more uplifting. Thank you.